Hi everybody. So I thought this would be an interesting video. I've made an interesting GPTs called Source Sentinel, and when it works, it works amazingly. It essentially, like, flat out, it can take out turnitin.com or anything around it. As far as what it can do, it'll take them out of business basically. So this is really simple. Can you perform a web search and evaluate the following text across all metrics? And then the text that I'm using here is just, I found this article. It's on Josh Allen. NFL, Josh Allen sets a new interception record during Week 10 of Monday Night Football. And then so just the first article that came up. So I'm going to use this. And then it's got some stats about all the interceptions that he threw last night. And then, so I'm going to run this, and then so you'll notice very specifically I put that, can you perform a web search in? Because if I don't do this, the model won't actually perform the web search. I don't like the models as they currently are, like they have zero ambition, right? So like even if a model can do things, like it doesn't do things unless it's like explicitly told to, or it needs to, comes across it. For example, like, so I can give it web search capabilities all day long, right? The models aren't like, ChatGPT is not going to search the web all day long just because it can. Even like, because it even in instances where it could search the web, like it won't do it unless I tell it to. So that's kind of like a, kind of my first thing that I get from this. But the second thing I want to point out here is, like, with these GPTs specifically, and what catches my eye with them and why I use them a lot is, so this is agent-based behavior, right? Like, so I told it, do a web search and evaluate this text. And then we can see exactly the web search that it's doing. It started with Google search, now it's going to StatMuse. And it's going to go to a few other websites, and it's going to do this for a while, right? It's collecting, searching Josh Allen stats 2023 season. It's validating all the statistics in here, right? That's what it's going through, making sure. So like, it's conducting multiple searches, it's hitting APIs, it's going to different websites, it's viewing the data from different websites, and the answer that's going to give back to me is a conglomeration and collaboration of like all of that data, right? So the model is going through and taking actual steps, going through actually doing tasks. And then so when you look at, like, what is the definition of agent-based AI, that's exactly what agent-based AI is. The definition is here. And then so to me, I consider this where we're at the moment with this and what we're looking at here. This is generation one of agent-based AI, in my opinion. Like it is. It's exactly what it's doing. And then so we'll see exactly what it does when it comes back with its results here. But like, to me, it's fascinating, like the fact that you can actually watch what the model is doing within these searches, because that gives, like, it could be a lot of questions as to whether or not it is agent based or not, and then that's where the first debates are going to start. But I mean, very clearly, it's going through, it's visiting different websites, it's doing different searches. Now it's visiting pff.com. It's visited multiple websites during this. Like, unless you're moving goalposts, this is Gen 1 of agent-based AI. There's no other way to state what it's doing here. And then here's its analysis that it's coming back with. And then, so this is the metrics that I specifically asked it, like it's programmed with. So originality, validity of claims, and subjectivity versus objectivity. That's like I kind of built it out with a rubric to measure these things, right? Like, check it for, is it plagiarized? If it is, it what's the originality of the argument? What's the validity of the claim? And then, is it a subjective versus objective analysis? And then so we're getting an error message, and then I had this before in my test as it's going through. So there's a token limit, I think, is what's going on here with the GPTs. And then the way that I have this as constructed, it's hitting the token limit, like right as it does its analysis, because it's taking a long time for that analysis, right? And then it goes through, but it can say, like, okay, I know that it's original, and then it's going through. So there's definitely work that still needs to be done on these GPTs to clean it up, and I'm going to clean up this GPTs more. There's definitely other instances where I can get it to actually generate text and actually give us a result, but it's going to take a while for it to, again, generate that response. Let's see if we just take a paragraph here, and I could ask it for something that's more simplistic. If I ask it for, let's go back here to Source Sentinel. I say, can you tell me, perform a web search if the following text is plagiarized or original? I'm just going to give it this text. And I expect this to take a little bit less time and less tokens, so this won't error out is my expectation, and it's going to take like a lot less time with the browsing Bing, because it's not going to have to go to all of the different sites that it went to. It's pretty much just going to, like, my expectation is that it'll perform a Bing search, and then possibly like the website search if it finds that article from where I'm linking it from. It might visit that web page. Looks like it's searching the exact copy of the text. And then using Bing search, it wasn't able to find the text for this article. This is the first article that I've run through. It's not able to find the text on it. So this article did just come out, right? So and it's Bing search. So that could explain a lot there. Generally, when I do this and I get it back, it returns back the results and it says like, oh, here's the article. It's definitely plagiarized. But as it says here, and it's disclaimer, and I didn't program this disclaimer, however, this assessment is not definitive and should be used in conjunction with other methods of plagiarism detection for a more comprehensive evaluation. And that's like, so my test, like what we're looking at here, isn't going to be conclusive, right? It's not going to be 100% conclusive 100% of the time as we're looking at here, and neither will turn it in. And so that's kind of like the my bottom line that I want to get at with this, and like why I built this out. Like overall, like to me, it was just curiosity building it out. Like, can I do it? And as I do it, I realize yes, I can, and then I can build out literally the business model of Turnitin.com and make their business model better, and then release it as a free GPTs. But I don't personally think that their business model should exist, period, because there's not a way to judge these things with 100% accuracy, no matter what, no matter how strong or powerful the AI is. It's all algorithms, and like the way, if you know how these algorithms work, you know the mathematics behind it, you're never going to get 100% accuracy within this. It's impossible to get 100% accuracy. So there's always going to be that level of subjectivity. And then when you're talking about something like this, like, so if you run this through and then you ran this through as like for student papers, things like that, you're going to be end up accusing students of plagiarism in some instances where they're not, right? And then like, I don't know, to me, I'm always of that opinion of if you have even a small number of false positives, then that outweighs even a large number of finding guilty parties, because you don't want that small number of false positives to get swept up in there, because it just, I don't know, that just gunks the system way too much, and it's way too impactful for those people that get swept up under those false positives. But so I'll link Source Sentinel in the comments here. And again, it's exactly as described. It will do everything that Turnitin.com does and more. You can evaluate it yourself, check it out. I'll make some more further tweaks with it as well, so that it will reduce those error messages and hopefully reduce the time spent with it. But so I would argue that Source Sentinel is overall way better than Turnitin. It does more than Turnitin does, and you can see exactly what it's doing. So if you want to use this type of tool, again, I would recommend that you don't, because it's not 100% accurate. But if you want to use it for more entertainment type of purposes, or if you're going to use a tool like Turnitin.com anyway, here's a free alternative for you, 100% free. Feel free to go wild with it and do whatever you want. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.